Marketing automation is a key to growing your business. In any organization, there are tasks and workloads that are manual and don't have to be. The thing is, when we spend time working on the things that could be automated, we leave and sacrifice the opportunities to work on the high value work that only we can do. In this video, I'm going to unpack what automation could look like and what are some of the automated workflows that you can use, and also how, specifically, that by the end of this video, I want you to be able to walk away and put in automation into your business or organization immediately. I'm Justin Thang. I believe that the right systems can help us grow wealthy, stay healthy, and have and enjoy richer relationships. If you like this topic or other topics like it, be sure to hit the like button below, then hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can be notified every time that I post. Now, we're going to get straight into it, and I'm going to share my screen in just a second. But I wanted to get one thing clear. If I say the word leads, and you're a B2C company, a lead for you is somebody who is in your database or is converted onto your newsletter, but hasn't yet become a customer. They are still a lead. If you're a B2B company, then you already know what a lead is. Now stay until the very end, because I have some worksheets that I'll be using throughout this video, and I'll show you where to download those and work it through yourself so that you can start implementing immediately. Are you ready for this? I am. Let's get into it.
So now we're going to get into the hands-on stuff. This is where we're going to use the worksheets and really get into this growth framework. Before we go there, I want to tell you a little story. And the story is about this campaign that my team and I ran for a client called the Share Ring campaign. And it was for a diamond company. And this diamond company wanted to reach deeper and broader into a very specific type of audience. And it was based around an insight that we uncovered. The insight was that at a wedding, the friends of the people who got married, if they were in a relationship, they were more likely to get married within the next 12 months because seeing their friends get married became the romantic impetus, the catalyst, the little nudge that they needed, the inspiration to take the next step and make it happen for themselves. So based around that insight, we wanted to find people who were ready to get engaged based on the statistic of being in a relationship for 3 years, owning a house together, but let's not get into that because that's not what this is about. There was a bit of targeting there that happened in Facebook, but I want to talk about the automation that we ran. So all it was this. We're giving away 2 engagement rings, okay? 2 rings, because one person might use it for their engagement and then offer it to somebody else who's also going to get engaged. Now, notice an engagement ring isn't enough. You'd also need a wedding ring, and then there's anniversary rings and so on and so forth. So really what we wanted to do was create as much brand love as we could whilst creating a really great story and creating this viral effect using automation. Here's how we did it. One post, we created one post that simply said, if you would like to enter into this twin ring competition, just comment win or want or twinning. They could comment one of these 3 things. And if they commented that, they were entering into the competition. Simple enough, right? What they didn't know was that behind the scenes, we had a bot. And this bot was listening out to the comments in the post. When we say listening, we mean that when somebody wrote the comments that it was listening for, it would send them an automated message in Facebook Messenger. And it would look very personal, and it would say something like, "Hi, Jenny, to confirm you'd like to enter into the competition, just say yes." Jenny said, "Yes." Then the bot would say, "Great, our judges will pick the most creative answer to this question. How are you going to share the Diamond Emporium Twin Rings prize?" And Jenny would say something to the effect of, "I'm going to surprise my girlfriend with it on New Year's Eve by hiding it in a cake." And the bot would reply, "Great, Jenny, you're all set." And of course, it would have those little dots that fade in and out to show that someone's typing. so that it feels like a real human being is doing this. Now, it didn't end there. That was just step 2. Step 3 is where the real magic happened. The bot would then say, Jenny, we'll announce the winners on December 14th by email. What address should we contact you on if you win? They would give the email address. Still not the magic. We said, perfect. Oh, almost forgot. Why not tag some friends in this competition? Who knows? One of you might win the rings and you can tag them here. So the thinking here is that if Jenny tags a friend, that friend might win. Therefore, it doubles her chances of winning because the friend that she tagged would, out of niceness, if that's a word, if she won, share the ring with Jenny. So now Jenny has doubled her chances of winning. So Jenny's a smart girl, so she's going to tag more than one person to triple, quadruple the chances that she has of getting at least one of these rings, if not both of them. So she could either be the primary winner or the secondary winner by proxy. So she would tag all these people, and those people, of course, in turn would tag more people and more people and more people. And so you can see this viral loop happening, and that's precisely what happened. It created a ton of engagement with people tagging friends, making comments, saying, I want this, I love this, it's so amazing. And this was all within the space of 10 days. And we spent $800 on boosting the post. Just $800 to boost the post. And 10 days. Here's the results. One post in 10 days for $800 generated 117 shares, 437 page likes, 1,490 comments, 1,659 reactions, 4,500 engagements, 740 emails, brand new emails to nurture in the next year. 740 in 10 days. 74,123 people reached through the sharing and tons of brand love. Now, the buyer personas that they were using are Sam's and Sally's, but just look at the amount of engagement this bot created. These are real people writing things like, many thanks for the opportunity. I want to say thank you, providing me with such a beautiful tool to propose. I think this was the winner. Oh no, this is previous customers. I'm saying that thank you for providing me with a beautiful tool. Now I want to get involved with this. They tag their friends. I would share this with my daughter. Somebody else said, whoever wins this will be lucky and extremely grateful. We love your page. Want 1,000 times. Thanks for the opportunity. I'd love these to share with my true love. These are the guys that did my rings. So you can see that people started getting really engaged and went super viral. Look at this. Lauren said, want. If it wasn't for my brother, your boyfriend, we would never have met each other. You're my best friend and soulmate. This is the person she's sharing it with. We're clones of each other and I love you to the moon and back. Somebody else said, this is a very clever campaign. And Sean Vickers said, I want these. Your diamonds are amazing. Your service is even better. My wife loves her rings. Of course, women love diamonds and want more. And so it just had this incredible halo effect as well as this viral effect from a very, very simple post. Now, what caused this? Automation caused this. This could not have been done without automation. No human being could have replied quickly enough or at scale to be able to make this thing work. And now let's look at some of the nerdy stuff. So you can see that website visitors from social was up 183% from the previous 10 days. Page engagements, 156% up, and so on and so forth. If you look at the green arrows here, 169%, 85%. Comments were up 2,673%. Shares were up 1,486%. Page likes 1,981%. And it even affected Instagram. Profile visits were up, reach was up, impressions were up, and they generated 463 new followers. So again, 10 days, $800. The diamond rings were old stock that they were going to be moving anyway. And so that was a sunk cost, but even if you added that to the cost of the campaign, like the advertising cost, and you looked at the number of emails it generated, 740 prospects. So if a diamond ring is worth roughly 3,005 to, no, well, not even 3,005. I mean, a good diamond ring is anywhere between $14,000 to $50,000, right? And you're looking at 740 potential buyers. This is a great starting point to begin nurturing. And this is just one campaign, and during the busiest period of the year, Christmas, the noisiest and busiest period. So what about us? What about growth coaches? Well, we run an automation workflow called the 45-day follow-up. Basically, when somebody downloads one of our ebooks, it waits a day, and then it sends them a follow-up email, which is a direct question, and then it waits another 4 days, and so on and so forth, keeping us front of mind for 45 days, because we know that whoever downloaded was interested in what we knew and could teach and about marketing coaching. And so we follow up with a 45-day process. And you can do the same thing within your business, a 45-day follow-up automation sequence. Okay. Let's take a look at another client. And this is someone who has had incredible results from automation just within 90 days. So you can see here that this is where they started. And I'm only showing you the starting period, but I just want to show you just the growth that it's had through automation. So sessions has risen this much, okay? From here to here, this is traffic. It's created 816 contacts and 304 customers. So you can just see the growth here that's happened using automation. I mean, but the most staggering thing is how it has affected revenue. So we can track in HubSpot how our marketing influences revenue, actual revenue. So this is the starting point, roughly $450,000. And this is where it ended up in 90 days so far, close to $1.5 million in revenue within 90 days. You could certainly say that there has been an ROI here, because within just 3 months, he's more than paid for our growth coaches ninjas to do what they do best, and through automation. So then I just want to give you a little peek of something a little more complicated. So here's what we do for people who have booked a call with growth coaches for an intro session. If they applied for the call, but they didn't actually choose a time to book it, the system would wait for 1 day. Then it would know that nothing has happened, and it will wait 1 day. And if in that time the person has gone back and booked a call, it'll enroll them in another workflow called the appointment engine, which is basically, thanks for booking the call. Here's some case studies from client XYZ who's 3x revenue or what have you, and also helps prep the person to come to the call ready to make the most of that intro session. And if they still haven't booked the call after that day, it sends them a second email saying, hey, what happened? Did you know that you hadn't booked the call? So on and so forth. Then it waits another 2 days and delivers the next email. That's starting to add some logic to the branches. But then you start getting into some even more complicated territory. Now, obviously, automations could get as complicated as you want. This is a quote builder that looks at the different kinds of services within a business and allocates pricing bands. And this workflow then talks to other workflows. This particular workflow that you see here is actually one of 142 workflows that all talk to each other to create a customized quote. So this is an automated quote builder. and it gets super complex. Like I said, 142 of these workflows all talking to each other. It's an immense amount of logic trees. And at this point in time, you probably think to yourself, it's probably better we get an expert to do it. And that's totally fine. We could certainly help with building things out for you. Okay, so you know that you want to automate, and you know probably roughly that there are some options you have to automate. Now, how do you decide what to build first and who to build it? So this framework in this worksheet is called the Growth Automator. It uses the goals, reality, option, winners, tinkering, and harnessing principles, and it allows you to plan your automation pretty simply. So your goal. What you're looking for is to define a specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound outcome. Okay, so it's a SMART goal, S-M-A-R-T. Then you're going to describe where you're currently at. You're going to pick the options that are going to get you to your goal, and then prioritize them. Then you're going to say who is going to build it, to delegate, the time period that it's going to be created in, and then what your follow-up plan is to harness the output of this automation. So it might be that you're going to just continue to optimize it and tweak, or it could mean that you're going to attach it to another workflow, or you're going to get a salesperson to call the people who come out of the workflow. But let's go through an example together. Okay, so let's say I'm running an e-commerce store and I want to increase sales by 2x, going from 100 per month to 200 per month in the next 90 days. Okay, so that's my goal. Current reality is I have 100 purchases and no automation. Okay, so what's going to get me there? Here are my options. Is it a new prospect 45-day follow-up? No. Long-term lead nurture? No. Event promotion and stick? No. No. Testimonials? No, no, no. Yes, I've got a new client welcome experience. That'll certainly help. Then I've got lead scoring. Yes, because there are people in my database currently who I can score to move into a purchase within the next 90 days. 4-part video course for people to understand my product better. And I will have a credit card error collection system because there are purchases that would have been made but bounced because of some error with the credit card, and I want to automate this follow-up process to make sure the sale actually closes. So what's my first priority? I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm going to pick my first one. New client welcome. It'll benefit me by converting visitors faster using a 10% first purchase offer. Okay, so the automation here is that a visitor comes in, it's going to automatically recognize it's a visitor who hasn't purchased before and offer them a 10% discount code, thereby closing the sale faster and sending them the email with a follow-up coupon code. Who's going to build it? I'm going to build this in HubSpot. So growth coaches, ninjas are going to do it in HubSpot. Now, my goal is a 90-day goal, but I want this built within 15 days because it's a pretty simple automation. And harness it, I'm going to do 30, 60, and 90-day checks. link, and I'm also going to link it to an abandoned cart follow-up. And there you have it. That's my automation plan. Now, I would work on this in the first, call it 90 days, and I can delegate this, relegate this Q2, Q3, Q4. Does that make sense? Now, this tool, I love that I can share this with you because it's such a great tool to identify hidden revenue streams and quick wins. So the thinking is this: it's on the vertical axis, you've got high fit and low fit. So this is about how well a prospect or someone in your database or a stranger or a visitor, how well they are fitted to your business. Okay, so example of high fit, they've got the budget. They've got the budget to buy whatever it is you're selling. They are the authority, the right decision maker. Now, you might be thinking, I'm B2C, not B2B, because B2B would have, the CEO is the authority or the manager. So you want to be able to get to the decision maker because they're the ones that make the purchase. And therefore, it doesn't apply to B2C. Not true. An interesting fact, when I was doing the marketing for Volkswagen and Holden, actually, as well, we found that the decision maker is actually the woman of the household, even though the male will search for the cars, do all the research on the reviews, and they will find out all the specs and all the engine specs, fuel economy, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, the woman was actually the one who was the decision maker. The household would not buy the car unless the woman signed off on it. And the reason is because the woman had a broader view on the practicalities of the car, what the needs would be, whether the kids would like it, whether it's long-term or just an emotional purchase. Really interesting. Anyway, the woman is the decision maker in the house. And what you might find is that there is a decision maker, even if you are in B2C, okay? The other thing that might qualify a good fit is they have a genuine need for your product or service. So for example, with growth coaches, with me, if a prospect is not currently paying for ads and they're not getting any leads, they don't have a genuine need to increase leads, right? What they actually need is to set aside a budget for advertising, or at least start generating some basic lead generation. Okay, so scaling is not really what they need to do. They need to just start by building something. Okay, so that's an example of identifying a real need. The other thing that might be a good fit is time. Is it a now thing or a later thing? If it's a later thing, you may not necessarily be a high fit right now. Now, on the horizontal axis, you've got engagement. How engaged are they with your business? And by engagement, we just mean how many marketing emails have they opened? How many times have they visited your website? How many of those visits were on high quality product pages with pricing on it, or a contact us page, or something that identifies them as being highly engaged? If they are a high fit, high engagement, and they're not yet a customer, that's the kind of person that is right on the edge of making a purchase. We call this an MQL. That stands for Marketing Qualified Lead. That means the marketing has identified them as a high fit, as well as highly engaged, and therefore they are qualified for a sales conversation or a sales engagement of some sort. If they are a high fit and low engagement, they are just a lead. This is marketing qualified lead, and this is lead. Now, if they are low engagement, it could mean that they're new to interacting with your business, or it could mean that the content that you're giving them isn't engaging enough. It is not providing enough value, but we'll get back to that. If they are a high engagement, low fit, these are contacts or competitors. Usually, if somebody is not a good fit but is highly engaged on your website, they are a competitor, or they are a tire kicker. A tire kicker meaning that they just want to gather a whole bunch of free stuff and get as much info as they can with no actual intention on purchasing because they don't have the budget, they're not the right person, there's no genuine need, or there's no time sensitivity. They're just looking around, they're window shopping. But that's okay, because this is where the 85% live. Well, it's actually here and here. So it's a mix. Now, in this quadrant, you can either try to move them here, develop them into a high fit, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, over here, low fit and low engagement is just trash. Not the person, the opportunity. They're just not worth spending a dime or their time. You just don't want to spend any time on them. So if they're a high fit and high engagement, what do we do with an MQL? Well, we offer a discount or an incentive or a sales call or a demo, because they're right on the edge. So there must be something that we can offer just to tip them over just that little bit into a sale. If you look at your database, you might have lots of MQLs. If you don't, that's okay. You have lots of leads, which means you need to develop them and engage them into becoming an MQL. So the action for low engagement people that are high fit is nurture. So you're going to create nurturing automation. Now, your automation can detect if they are high engagement, high fit, and respond accordingly, of course. That's part of the beauty of automation. So you're going to nurture them. Now, obviously, if you've nurtured them already and they're still low engagement, it just means that your content isn't doing the trick. You're not offering anything of value, and you need to look at that. So it's either nurture or fix content. Now, what happens if they are high engagement, low fit? You want to develop or discard. Okay? So you either develop them into a high fit by helping them find the budget, or helping them get to the authority, the decision maker, or helping them further identify a need, or helping them to lock in a timeline, or you can discard them. And if they're low fit and low engagement, delete them. Get them out of your database. Delete, avoid, run away, whatever it is you want to do, just do not engage. So this is really, really helpful. And I know that if you fill this out for your business, you will find some immediate wins that you can work on. In terms of priority, what you want to be looking at is, this is first priority, second priority, third priority, and this is not even a priority at all. Never, ever. So you want to work on this automation first. If you don't have those opportunities, then this is the second priority, and this would be the third. Okay. Now, if you were to score your business in a dashboard, this is what you might do. Let's get rid of this. Oops. If you were to score your business in contacts, leads, MQLs, I don't even know how that became a straight line. If this is strong, mediocre, weak, or poor, where would you sit for contacts? Do you have a lot of contacts currently? Maybe you are over, is it a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4? Okay, so you might say your contacts are weak, but your leads, you've got tons of leads in your database that are a good fit. So your leads might be very strong and your MQLs might be medium. So if you do this scorecard every 90 days, what you'll end up with is something like this, right? You can score this as a 2, 4, 3, because this is a score of 2, a score of 4, and a score of 3. Okay, and just draw this little chart here. And this is what your automation currently looks like, your automation score. Okay, it's a 2, 4, 3. Obviously, you want to get a 3, 3, 3. But every 90 days, you will discover what is the best thing to work on. So coming back down to this, let's talk about 3 steps to get started. The first thing you want to do is to pick an automation today. Pick one thing that you can build immediately. Then you want to pick the automation tool that you're going to build it in and build it. Actually build it so that you're not getting just information, you're moving into implementation. And you can leverage your internal team or your virtual team, or if you need myself and the team to jump in or to help you develop this, whether it's doing it for you in HubSpot or advising you or guiding you or helping you design the workflows, feel free to reach out. Just shoot me a message and we will get you all the details. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoy delivering it, because automation is a passion of mine. I love technology and I love data, and I love what it can do for businesses, and I've seen the effect that it has had with our clients. So go ahead, pick an automation, then a tool to build it in, and build it. And if you get stuck, give us a call.
Cool. Now, I also did promise you a cheat sheet that you could download, which kind of lists out some ideas of what automation you can implement into your business. You can find the link to that in the description below. Now, as always, if you like this content and you thought it was helpful, please hit the like button or the subscribe button and then the bell notification to be notified whenever I post. I'm Justin Teng. I'll see you next time.